Yes, hello. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. So, one of you told me to reflect on USDJPY, and I decided to do. I don't know. Let me go somewhere silent. So, I decided to do this video and reflect on what we are expecting on GJ as well as USDJPY. So this USDJPY also talk on what I'm expecting for gold as well. So what am I seeing for USDJPY? We can see that the higher time frame has been we have lots of markups. Let me try to hide yes, something like this, visibility below, so sorts below this one, also below everything below, right? So if we go from the higher time frame, probably even the monthly time frame, because that's where I usually start my analysis. So what can we see? We have 16 days before this candle closes. We have been bullish. We had bullish fair value gap, and that was being formed, was respected, and then we formed a bullish engulfing candle. And whenever I see a bullish engulfing candle, remember what constitutes a bullish engulfing candle. We have this candle closing the previous sweeping the previous candle's low, and also this candle rallies and closes above the opening and the closing price of this previous candle. So this is what constitutes a bullish engulfing candle. And when we have a bullish engulfing candle, then what we usually anticipate is a continuation going higher. But in this situation, price didn't continue higher. But also, whenever we want a continuation going higher, we have the two levels that I usually love watching, which is the 0.5 level or the 0.25 level, the upper quadrant, and also around the half price. And what can we see is that price has already tapped into those levels, the 0.5 and the 0.25, and also even the 0.75 level. And what we are seeing is a nice rejection, right? So meaning the bullish engulfing candles, the bullish engulfing candle, the context areas have already been respected. If I want more information, I can drop to the month 3 months time frame. But what we are seeing is price has been bullish. We are respecting these order block. Can see with this candle. Then we have a month, 20 days before this candle closes. We can assume this could be the manipulation phase of this candle. Then later on we can expect to expand, but that isn't really clear for now. What we need is price always to confirm to us what is doing, not think what price will be doing, right? Like that, I've assumed that price will be is manipulating because we have 1 month, 20 days to go. That's an assumption, but we want to see what is price actually telling us. So we have the fair value gap, we have that has been respected, right? We also have the bullish engulfing candle. We have seen the 0.75, 0.5 and 0.25 have already been triggered. Now if this monthly time frame is bullish, we want to see the reactions of those levels that have already been marked up, and for that reason we can drop onto the weekly time frame to see what made price to rally lower, and what can we anticipate for price to be doing. So from the weekly time frame of the USD JPY, what we are seeing shortly, let me mark up. If we are bullish, then the first target we can be targeting, I usually always predetermine the direction. So if you are bullish, that's what I want to see the market rally higher. But also if you are bearish, the first target was the PML that had already been taken, and later on we have this one. If the market disrespects the the key levels, we can expect to see the engulfing candles low being taken. So if the market is bullish, we rally to this high. Then if the market is bearish, we rally to this low. And now what we'll be doing is a refinement. Now, okay, so these should be visible, all time frames. This one, visible all time frames. So after having this, we can drop onto the lower time frames, and what we can do is refinement. What I usually love to do is I try to refine. If the market is going lower, remember this is the low we can be targeting, which is also a fair value areas low. If the market is bearish, before we reach this fair value low, we have the previous week's low that is around that point in time. So I refine it to that low, right? Yeah, we have this low where we can expect the market to rally to. And also, if the market is bullish, the first target we can target will be that previous week's high, right? We have the previous week's high before even the market rallies to this high, because it will take long before it rallies to that high. But this one will be first traded into, then the market rallies higher. But also, what are we seeing from the weekly time frame? From the weekly time frame, price is showing us that we had these liquidity sweeps. So we had that liquidity sweep. Then price started consolidated. We have liquidity sweeps above this high. Then we drop lower. We started displacing below bullish fair value gaps, and also we disrespected this fair value area. So we have a fair value area over here, which is price leg number 1 to number 3. So from the high to the low, this is what we refer to as a fair value area that currently has been disrespected, right? And whenever a fair value area has been disrespected, we usually anticipate to see the low of the fair value area being taken. So if the market will be bearish, this will be the first target. Then later on, we can expect to see this next target met, right? But we want to also determine, is it that the market should be going lower now, or we also will be reacting off the monthly 0.75 level. That's what we need to determine, right? And from the weekly, what we can see is the market has been so bearish. We were disrespecting these bullish fair value gaps. We dropped lower with this candle, and now we created the low. And this week that we are on Wednesday, what we can see is price has pushed higher. And if we are bearish, then my context area will be this immediate rebalance. So I will be monitoring how price would react to that level. So the weekly IR is the level that I will be watching for, and how will price react to this level. So if price stinks into it and then we have nice displacements going lower, then we can expect price to be dropping to these levels and later on to these levels. But if price doesn't really show any disrespect going higher, because that's what we are anticipating from the weekly due to the disrespect of the fair value area. But if that doesn't show up and then we start displacing above this weekly immediate rebalance, then our first target will be this. Later on, we can expect also to see these highs being taken. Remember, when the market is bullish, what price usually does is a drop onto the discount levels, and you can see using even the engulfing candles and also these price has dropped to deep discount, of which we might also displace going higher, right, because of the discount. And also we have the weekly time frame, monthly time frame, PPR, right? So from the daily of the weekly, at this point in time, what we can say is price is 50-50. We need to wait for more confirmation to see how price will react to this level. But from the daily, what we can notice also is we have this daily fair value gap that should do its job, and by doing its job, it should push prices lower towards these weekly low. So if I can label these ensure. So we have the PWL, previous week's low should be at the bottom, and then over here we have the PWH top right. There we go. So we are currently within this range, and if we also have this fib, what we can notice is price has already retraced above the 0.5 level. So we are, I think, in a point where we need more confirmation. We need to be very patient with how price will react to this level, because we might disrespect also these bearish fair value area, and whenever bearish fair value area is disrespected, we can also expect to see the liquidities of the fair value area high being taken, and also price might respect this fair value area, also the weekly immediate rebalance, and then we drop lower. So in this scenario, what we can do is possibly the fair value gap has been traded into. What we should do is maybe wait for CPI to confirm what a price is intending to do, and then we can react off that. But from the 4-hour time frame, we can notice that the market is really bullish, because we are confirming I don't. So we should have these visible below. So from the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is that the market is showing bullishness. We are creating change in structure, change of character, or market structure shift. We have liquidity sweeps, we have lots of consolidation, and this can be a change, the market maker buy model. And so what we should wait for is around this area, see how CPI will react to this area. If CPI maybe pushes higher and then we drop lower later on, start with the displacement, then we can target the rest of the week these lows. But if CPI maybe sting into this fair value gap and we push higher with a nice displacement going higher, then I will be targeting these previous week's high labeled there. So at this point in time for USDJPY, we are consolidating. We are not consolidating. We are at a 50-50 point whereby we can be bullish, we can be bearish. So what you need is patience. Just wait for price, wait for how price will react to this specific level, and it will determine to us whether we are going higher or whether we are going lower, targeting either the PWL, the previous week's low, as well as the previous week's high. If we go on to the GJ haven't traded really GJ for a long while, and I will get rid of every markup that I had before, and then we start from the higher time frame, possibly the 3-month time frame. What can we see if the market is bullish or bearish? We had specific targets that we were targeting. So this one, we have a sweep of it. The market has already traded below it, right? We have that low that has been swept, so to me is a liquidity sweep. And also we have, if the market is higher, we can expect to see this monthly high that the market will try to target. And also if we monitor over here, you can see we have bullish fair value gaps that seems to be respected. The market never closed below these bullish fair value gap. We created a swing low that is still maintained, right? And currently what we're seeing is a sweep of the previous month's low and 3 months low, and currently with the 1 month 20 days we are having that rejection. So it isn't really clear from these 3 months time frame, so we need some more info, we need some more clarity of the lower time frame. So above this level, you can see we have lots of liquidities resting above that level in form of a trend line liquidity, and currently we formed a bullish engulfing candle, but last month and this month we have dropped, swept the 3 months low, and currently we are rejecting. But inside this price action, you can see we have been consolidating a lot, and whenever you see these, it's not ideal, these not ideal conditions to be trading. You need to wait for more confirmation. So with this, having this in mind, we need more confirmations to see how we can get involved. So over here we can see that the market dropped, then we pushed higher, failed to take that high, the market dropped, forming fair value gaps that are being respected. Then we dropped lower, we confirmed that weekly fair value area. So we have this weekly fair value area that also can be called as a market structure shift, because the candle closed below that level. But to me, I usually I'll use it as a fair value area, because we have 1, 2, 3, so the 3 price legs help me to confirm that as a fair value area. So let me label it. I have these weekly fair value area, so bottom right will be ideal. And also at around this point in time, you can see we have that liquidity sweep, right? Then this candle has opened and expanded higher. We have this volume imbalance that the market has already traded into, but my main concern will be how price is reacting to this weekly fair value area of the lower time frame. So of the lower time frame, we have, you can see it over here, it's clear now. The weekly fair value area is clear. We had price leg number 1, a drop, 2, then this, so it's a drop, push higher, then a drop lower. So we have the market, if we were to be bearish, the market should react off that fair value area and push prices lower. But what is currently happening is price is disrespecting these fair value area by going or retracing deeper into the range of this fair value area. And whenever a fair value area is being disrespected, my first usual target will be these fair value area high liquidities. So we have the fair value area high liquidities. Yeah, so top right will be good. So the fair value area liquidities, have that I instead of a U. So we have liquidity sweep, we have the fair value area that currently seems to be disrespected, and also within that we have a nested fair value area. Whenever we have a fair value area within a fair value area, 1, 2, 3, so we have this fair value area that also is being traded into, and then we have also that fair value gap. So my main concern will how price will be reacting to this fair value gap. If the market reacts with this displacement of the 4-hour time frame going lower, then we can engage with prices maybe to this fair value gap, which will be the first target. Then of this we can see whether price could be pushing to this level. But for me specifically, I want, maybe because of the disrespect of this fair value area, I will be more favoring of bullish prices toward this fair value areas high, but with lots of confirmations having confirmed. So with that, I'll drop onto the 4-hour time frame, try to observe the structure. You can see a 4-hour fair value area clearly. 1, a drop, we have a push, then a drop below this. So this is a nested fair value area, a fair value area within a larger fair value area. So what we're seeing is we're seeing sweeps of liquidities, the market displacing, creating change of character, also change of state of delivery, and then we are forming bullish fair value gaps. So what we can do in this scenario, because we are a key point of interest, what we can do is wait for CPI and see how CPI will react. Maybe CPI will push prices towards these fair value gaps, and then push later on we see price expanding higher. So we need more confirmation so that we may engage in price action like this. But with this and the high impact news that we have today, it needs lots of patience and also more confirmation, so that we are not caught in consolidations, as well as price chopping us out, or our stop losses being met when price will be maybe tapping into these fair value gaps. Then we have that push higher. So for me, I'm more of higher prices for GJ, but same to the USDJPY. What I am still waiting for is confirmations, right? Without much more confirmation, I will not engage. And in these types of conditions, avoid intraday trading. Just maybe hold on to swing trades, and you can get your reward. But if you get involved in intraday swings, see days like these, right, high volatile, and maybe the market was bullish, and again you can see the next day the market is bearish. So in these scenarios, need more confirmations. Maybe we might also consolidate around today, because we have confirmed a bullish fair value gap, that the market tomorrow might sink into the fair value gap, and then we continue higher. So more confirmation is needed, more patience is needed for both USDJPY and GJ. And now a final reflection of gold, right? Gold, we have been talking more of bullish prices, right? And I sent you today in the morning, I sent you the key level I will be watching, which is the PDL, because from the daily time frame, or let's start from the weekly time frame. From the weekly time frame, what are we seeing? Let me ensure that the weekly is kind of clean. So visibility below, also sure we have it below. Daily lows, yeah, should be also visibility below. So from the weekly time frame, what we can see, we have also something over here, should be below, yeah. So from the weekly time frame, what we're seeing is the market has been so bullish, and if the market was for this week, I was anticipating to see a push towards this immediate rebalance, then continue higher. But what we can see is that is not happening. That hasn't really happening. That doesn't mean it's not happening. Might happen, because we have the CPI. That's why I have these specific levels over here. And also we have the monthly fair value area. You can see how this fair value was respected with this candle. We had a drop, we tapped into that, created an immediate rebalance, then this candle pushed higher. That's how I want to see a fair value area being respected. But when we see deep retracement, that's not ideal. That's when I want to see the fair value areas low being targeted. But in this situation, we had gold respecting that monthly fair value area. Want to have it somewhere there to avoid lots of markups. And we had the weekly fair value gap that hasn't been traded. We have that market structure that is obvious. We have the previous week's low, that if the market was to go lower, this was the first target, then see whether this fair value gap will be traded into. But that actually hasn't happened. The immediate rebalance is open. What we have done is we have swept the previous week's high, and currently we have liquidities that have been engineered resting above that level. And remember, we have CPI today, so CPI might decide to do its job, maybe push prices even lower towards let's have these even below, yeah. So the CPI maybe might even push prices lower, and if we see the daily fair value area being respected, so we have price leg number 1, 2, 3 will be clear of the 4-hour time frame. So if we see these fair value area not being respected, then I can expect to see these daily fair value area low liquidities being taken. But for now, since I'm more of bullish, and also we can see the daily is more of bullish, the fair value gaps are being respected, we have change of character, we have fair value areas being formed. Around this point in time, that's where I need to observe how price will react to specific levels. We reacted off the immediate rebalance, rejected nicely, and the next discount array was the PDL, the previous day's low, and what we can see is it has been swept currently, and off this level could we have a push going higher, could we have a rejection going higher? If we have a rejection going higher, then we could be targeting the previous day's high. So those this can be the target if I see price displacing off that previous day's low, say the Tuesday's low. If price reacts nicely off that with displacement going higher, then I can engage with price going higher. We can also notice from the 4-hour time frame, what we have is we have these 4-hour fair value gaps that are left open, and also we have currently swept the PDL. So this will be my first context area. Then around after the CPI news, I will see how price would have reacted off this point in time. That is also around deep discount. If I see price continue displacing, then I might shift my bias from being bullish to bearish. First target will be these daily fair value area low liquidities. But around this point in time, that's where I will be watching how price react to that. And because we have swept that, if I will be bullish, and if I will want to engage in bullish prices, then what I'll wait for is candle closing above these consecutive down close candles that have swept the liquidities. If we close above these down close candles, create maybe a market structure shift, or also a change in state of delivery, then I will go bullish, or I will look for a bullish continuation higher. If we have a sweep, then I will not be engaged. I will sit back, wait, and see how price reacts to these specific levels. If we displace with fair value gaps, we start now displacing with fair value gaps, then this is what I will target. But if price now starts again displacing higher with fair value gaps, I will target this previous day's high, because long-term wise you can see we have been bullish for gold. So that's what I'm expecting as of today. So something like this of can have so a sweep, you can go deeper to that levels, and then this is what I'm favoring more of. But if we see these placements going lower, right, something like this, and a price pushing higher, then we displace, then I will also expect something like this. So these are the two scenarios that I have in mind for gold. And gold to me is high probability compared to GJ and USDJPY. So I will more focus on these two for gold mainly, and wait for GJ to have more confirmations for me to get involved. We also had talked about DXY the previous day, haven't looked on it. All right, so we had gone deep into this area, right, deep into the 4-hour fair value area. And what I'm watching to see, because currently we have disrespected this 4-hour fair value area, we might expect to see the low of the fair value area being taken, but also we are reacting off a 4-hour fair value gap. In this scenario, we need more confirmation after CPI, then we can engage. So same to Euro USD. Euro USD looks more of bullish, disrespecting the fair value area. We are displacing nicely. You can see we have created a change in state of delivery. We have these fair value gaps. Then because price is disrespecting these immediate rebalance and the 4-hour fair value area, we can expect to see the fair value area high liquidities being taken. But all that wait for CPI. CPI might do its thing. I usually trade after the CPI, then we can engage. But for now, I think more confirmation is needed for every pair, including gold. Then we can engage, because we are at a point where it's 50-50 price action. Wait for CPI to trade, then we can engage later on. So that is it. Hopefully you get some insight. If you have some questions, feel free to let me know.